Football with friends is fun as hell. My name is Alex Dunlap here with Cody Carpentier on a big Thursday edition. You can almost smell the weekend. So pumped to be here with you guys for this Thursday show. We have a buy or sell show today with a whole grip of these buy or sell questions and a little bit of an update off the top. We also have Sark's media availability today with the local media. We'll have some highlights from that, what we can kind of glean from that, but the update that Cody has that he was texting me about earlier about a little bit of buzz, a little bit of news about a highly ranked 2026 offensive tackle recruit.
So this kid, Zayden Krempin, he's from Prosper, Texas, in the class of 2026. He's about 6'5", 260 pounds. And I know we've talked about an offensive tackle in the 2026 class already. So I think it's very interesting that this kid, Zayden Krempin, was in Austin last weekend for the Georgia game and came away with some positive notes. This is in a write-up from Marshall Levinson over at Rivals in his rumor mill. And some of the things that Zayden Krempin had to say about being in Texas for the visit was that he was very impressed with the school. Said he wanted to and came away impressed. I had a great time. Got to talk to Coach Flood and Coach Gatewood before the game. The game was hype, and I was very impressed with everything about it. Zayden Krempin, 6'5", 260 pounds. Again, not 300 pounds. He's not there yet, but he's still a couple years away. And when you do look at that offensive tackle class in 2026, we've of course talked about John Turntine out of North Crowley, 6'4", 317 pounds. I know Alex got to watch a little bit of Turntine and Krempin. I keep wanting to call him Kremplin, but Krempin.
I know. So yeah, I was calling him that earlier when I was watching him too. So I don't know why.
It's a very good class top down at the tackle position. Both of these guys are from the state of Texas. There's actually another guy, Drew Evers, from Flower Mound, Texas, who's up at number 12. I know there was some Oklahoma buzz surrounding him. He's the 12th ranked tackle in the country. Zayden Krempin, the 14th ranked tackle in the country. That's the top three guys in the state of Texas in the 2026 class. I did get to watch a couple of these high-end guys, these Emmanuel Iheanacho, Kevin Brown, Kenya Pepe, these guys down there, Pepe maybe, down there at the Jacksonville thing. I did not get to watch Turntine or Krempin. What'd you think about Krempin when you were watching him today?
Well, I mean, I don't think it's – here's the thing. I mean, I went back and watched Turntine again today too, just because I was like – because I watched Krempin and I was like, oh gosh, I mean, like there's something here to him. And like, what is this? But before what is the actual? So, but he's saying he's into Texas. He's into it. Like, is he going to list any favorites anytime soon or anything like that?
So the full note here says plenty of schools are in the mix for the 4-star out of Prosper, Texas. Zayden Krempin, Texas being a major player. Krempin was in Austin for the Longhorns matchup with Georgia. Despite the loss, Krempin saw what he wanted to and came away impressed. I had a great time. Got to talk to Coach Flood and Coach Gatewood before the game. The game was hype, and I was very impressed with everything. When you do go to Krempin's Rivals page, you can see he also took a visit to Michigan on the 21st of September. He took a visit to Oklahoma State on the 5th of October. He was offered by Ohio State just this last month and offered by Washington just a couple weeks ago. So he's taken a couple of unofficials. Currently, there's no future cast in on this guy. Of course, it's 2026, not 2025. And there's some fan future casts on Michigan and LSU, but you don't really read much into that. So took a visit, like I said, took unofficial visits to Michigan and Oklahoma State so far, and then looks like he's impressed with everything he saw in Austin.
Coach I guess that's Darren Gatewood, the offensive analyst. I guess he used to play for UTEP. Is that right, Darren Gatewood? Did he say Coach Gatewood?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, hold on. Is that Darren? Yeah, UTEP Miners. Is that? Yeah. Yeah, so he joined the staff last January. Putting in work, man. Some of these behind the scenes guys doing some work. Hey, dude, I think Krempin he's not Turntine. When you watch him and Turntine, you can just kind of tell that there's a difference in the two guys. But I will say that he's he for one, he's skinnier, right? He's
Yeah.
skinnier. He's got longer arms. Doesn't rely quite as much on his strength, although he shows a whole ton of strength. And Prosper's a good school. They play good schools. He's not playing against he's not playing against real sluggos, and he has reps where he puts guys in the dirt. A little bit of the still like I mentioned, he's got long arms. I think he's probably going to fill out to a more ideal left tackle body than Turntine will. With that being said, Turntine's just really, really a lot better. The way he moves, his functional strength, his general pad level, his ability to move in every direction, his hand placement, his the relationship of his hips to the line of scrimmage. Um, these are things where whenever you watch Krempin, Zayden Krempin, what a name. Whenever you watch Krempin, a little bit more gangly, a little bit more unwieldy in some of his past sets. Maybe not quite as much. Man, it's just like you watch Turntine in the run game, and it's like he's like a what is it? Just like a
He's
like a heat-seeking missile with his hands to the inside of your numbers, and it's just like really, really clean with everything that he does. Whereas with Krempin, and dude, and I sent you the clip from the Rivals Dallas camp, right, where they they were going back to back, and you just looked and you're like, okay, well, I mean that's the difference, right? One guy's a little bit longer, leaner, longer arms, but just doesn't have the little bit more robotic in his pass set, a little bit weirder with his positioning. Um, he's a guy. He's a guy that, like, right now, like when those guys try to when they try to speed rush Krempin, he's usually fine because he can take him up. But I guarantee you, man, you're gonna have a lot more trouble converting outside speed to inside, pass rush moves across the flat chest and the hip pointers pointed forward of a John Turntine. So this isn't to say I think Krempin. I think that they should try and get both. I was like, that's what I texted you. I'm like, can you imagine Texas getting both these guys? Like, be, gosh,
be kind of an elite situation.
it'd be nasty.
Even if they had to move Krempin into guard and you had both these guys playing side by side, I think it'd be a good situation regardless. There's a couple more notes here in this thing. I know we talked about Riley Pettijohn last week along with Devin Sanchez, who didn't end up making the trip. Riley Pettijohn did. I thought this was interesting. He made the trip to Austin this weekend. The comment here is no fretting for the Buckeyes required, though, as Pettijohn was tagging along with family. Cam and Kyler Pettijohn, two younger prospects at McKinney. Sources close to Pettijohn said before the visit there would be no flipping coming out of this visit.
All right, well, so that's that.
So there's no, yeah, his two brothers are, I think, in the class 26 and 27, or maybe
Any good? I haven't watched them.
No, they're young. They're young bucks. They're playing linebacker. They're like they're 185, 190 pounds. I haven't watched them. I can't imagine they'll be quite what Riley is, but I'm not going to say anything until I watch them. So they're two younger guys at McKinney, same last name. We'll see what happens from there. Another note here, the last one comes from a wide receiver from Madison in San Antonio. Who went to Madison? Was that Vince?
He went to Houston, Madison.
Houston, is that different than San Antonio? Okay, that's I don't know.
Of course it is.
Obviously better.
Yes, I didn't. Houston are very, very, very different places.
I didn't. Okay. Dumb question. That was close. All right. Jordan Clay, 6'4", 200-pound wide receiver, 4-star, 28th ranked wide receiver in the 2026 class. Was at Texas this weekend. He raved about Texas before and had positive things to say about his weekend visit. It was a great atmosphere. The stadium was rocking, and it was a good game between the two great teams. Jordan Clay, 6'4", 200-pound wide receiver from Madison in San Antonio. That was the only other note about the Texas game.
How much different of a guy would Vince be if he came from San Antonio? He
I don't.
wouldn't.
I'm not. I wish I could. I wish I could respond to you.
It wouldn't be the same VY, dude. I don't. I don't think he would have liked the Cheesecake Factory quite as much.
See, I don't even understand what you're. I don't understand that at all. I don't understand how you can. I guess that's a Texas thing. I guess that's like me saying like, somebody's from Minneapolis and Fargo or something, and you're like,
I can see those two being a lot different. Somebody from San, it's those two. It's just funny. Those two cities are just wildly different from one another. I don't know, man. I think it's all. It kind of gets me to my first buy or sell question. Do you just want to pop into these things?
Hell yeah, let's do it.
All right. So, would you? Okay, this because it's one that actually involves these two guys. Okay. So buy or sell. You'd rather have Turntine than Zayden Crimpin plus Javion Osborne in the 2026 class if you're Texas.
Oh.
It's kind of one of those Fasusi versus DK Moore, or no DK Moore, but you get Fasusi plus Andrew Marsh or something, like one of those kinds of things. But you can't if you take Turntine, then Crimpin and Osborne are off the table, and if you take Crimpin and Osborne, then Turntine's off the table.
I think you need I mean, we've talked about this 2025 class, and especially with there's still, of course, the door is still there with Fasusi. You got a month and a half to stay. We heard a month ago that there's still communication there. That's not breaking news. But if something were to happen and Fasusi were potentially to go to Texas, I think that makes you a little less dependent on having to get a turn time. And then I would lean potentially into that Zayden Crimpin, Javion Osborne thing. I think there's enough running backs in that class. I really like Osborne.
It's really hard. Because, dude, I see UT parking in the chat over here saying no, Osborne's the prototypical SEC back, and he's saying Osborne's a must get. And dude, I think he is too, but I kind of think Turntine is too.
There's three running backs in the state of Texas in the 2026 class that are the top 5 in the class next year. None of them are Osborne. Osborne's the 4th ranked running back in the state.
What? Who's better?
Tredarian Ball from Texarkana, who has a Texas offer. He's committed to Oregon. He's the number 2 running back in the country. Jonathan Hatton from Steele and Cibolo Steel.
That's San Antonio too.
Yeah, he's going to Oklahoma. And then KJ Edwards from Carthage is 5'10", 175. He's the number 5 running back in the state.
Number 5?
Yeah. Sorry, number 5 in the country. Sorry, number 3 in the state.
Well, dude, I've heard that KJ Edwards wants to come to Texas.
Well, there you go. He's 5'10", 175, though. He's not exactly.
I got a text just the other day. I want to make sure that this doesn't implicate anybody for who it was.
Well, I mean, you kind of already just said your thought, I guess, or your
so news. So KJ Edwards is from Carthage.
Yep.
Just like he was he was back home talking to some friends and their coaches at Carthage. Not sure how high he is on Texas's board, but they feel like he will go to Texas given the opportunity. So
he took an unofficial visit there in June, and he's the number 5 kid in the country. So I'm assuming there's communication there.
Yeah.
So I guess this. So I'll take Turntine here, and I'll just say they'll get another running back somewhere else, whether they do go to the portal this year or next year, whatever it is, and they get a guy like KJ Edwards. I mean, they have enough guys in the backfield right now that are. You got to remember, Gibson and Clark are both freshmen. Baxter's only a sophomore. I know people want to write off Baxter and write off Gibson already, but the room's
are people writing off Jarrett Gibson?
Sure. I mean, Ketch basically did because he hasn't gotten much work the last few weeks. But I still like Gibson. I just think where we're getting right now in SEC play, I think it's really tough to ask a guy like that. I know he played a little bit against Michigan, but you could feel a little bit that the situation was a touch big for him, a touch big. So that's why they got him carries early in the season. So I don't think that I'm not off on him. I love Gibson, but I'm just saying nonetheless, Baxter and Gibson are still there. Clark's still there. So I'm going to go Turntine here. I'll say, so you'd rather have Turntine than, yes, I'll say buy. I'd rather have John Turntine than Zayden Crimpin and Javian Osborne. Always take the mighty offensive lineman. And I like Turntine. I think I texted you back. I said, I think there's still a couple miles between Turntine and Crimpin on the old highway.
Yeah. To me, this feels, I hate to say it because I do think, and like UT Parking's going to he's going to go berserk here in the chat, but I
think you're right, UT Parking. I think you're right. I love
Osborne's awesome. It's like he should be I haven't watched. Who'd you say the number one is? The Texarkana guy?
The what?
What?
Running back?
Yeah.
Tredarian Ball.
Easy for you to say. I haven't watched him yet, so it's like I shouldn't even say this, but like he can't be better than Osborne.
Well, he's committed to Oregon already anyway, and so is Hatton's already committed to Oklahoma. So KJ Edwards is uncommitted and Osborne's uncommitted. So those are the two that are kind of readily available, I guess.
I think you need turn. I think you need turn time.
It's the super. It's the it's the Fasusi of the class. That's what you're looking at right there. You're like, well, am I going to pass? No, you're not. You're not going to pass up on him to, and I'm going to say this, but I'm not going to say this in any derogatory fashion. But it's like in this class taking Fasusi or John Mills plus, James Simon or something like. Texas is happy with Mills and Simon, but it's like that's the level of talent we're talking about between like Mills and Fasusi. It's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that probably Crimpin is going to be closer to Turntine than Mills is to. It's actually not that bad. It's probably about right. But just Javian Osborne, I'd hate to say it, but I mean James Simon could be awesome, but I consider Osborne just a superior prospect to him.
Who was your I remember we talked about comps there week for Osborne. UT Parking, he's going berserk over in the chat. Shout out to UT Parking. Appreciate you. Hopefully click that like button while you're tapped in here. He says Osborne is like Zeke. Mine was work done. What was yours? I can't remember.
I think it was J.K. Dobbins.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's
kind of Zeke-ish. Both those are a little bit Zeke-ish. But yeah. All right. Do you want to do the next buy or sell, or do you want me to do one?
You got one.
I got a bunch of them. All right. Well, dude, just speaking about the running backs. So your level of concern for the Texas running game, you would consider to be high.
My concern for the running game, I would consider to be high.
Yep.
I'm going to say no.
So.
Yeah, I'm going to say I'll sell.
Okay.
I wouldn't say my concern level is high. I think we're being, Monday overreactionary about it. If we're just saying, what did Weisner had 12 carries for? I don't even know what he had. Like, felt like he had
3.5 per. His longest run was 10 on that one power concept.
Yeah, he didn't do much. I wouldn't say I'm worried about it at a high level. I'd say I'm like mid. I'm like baseline. I think what you saw he had 52 yards. So, okay, that's better than I expected or remembered. I don't think I'm worried. Like, I think I'm right baseline about it. Like, yeah, it could definitely be worse, but I think it's like we want more out of it. I mean, you got to go back, especially Weisner. He averaged 9 yards per carry against Oklahoma, 7 yards per carry against Mississippi State. and it drops down to 3.5 against Georgia, and how that game went, and everything was pretty much suffocated in the entire first half. There's no Blue right now, or at least in that game, in the running back room. I just think that this is a good 1-2 punch. I think we just need to get Blue back invigorated into the running back room, and I think it'll be just fine. So I think I'm baseline because there's still worry there because I don't view Wisner or Blue as these Brooks or Bijan or anything like this, where it's a definitive depend on this guy every single down. But I love how Wisner runs the ball hard. Jaden Blue's super dynamic out of the backfield as a receiver, and I think that they work together. And I think they're both really solid running backs. So I wouldn't say my concern level is high. I'm concerned more about the punt game. I'm concerned more about the quarterback. I'm concerned more about the defensive tackles, I think, than running back.
I'm not more concerned about the defensive tackles right now. Not if Collins keeps playing like that. I didn't see an abject
in one game.
Guys. Yeah, but if he plays like anything close to that, like I can't believe I'm buying in on milk carton Collins. But he could go back to the milk carton. But oh, dude, look at this, man. Looking through oh gosh, man. My brother Mo from down the street, man. He has a buy or sell. All right. This is my neighbor that you met up at the thing, Cody.
I know.
Buy or sell. Texas can still win if we lose time of possession battle 40-20. I don't see how you can win if you lose the time.
Well, I think
that means that you've completely that means they've completely played and they've played the game completely into the hands of exactly what Vandy wants to do. That's exactly what Vandy wants to do.
Well, true, but also if you take out Arch Manning's 21-yard run the other night, Texas had 3 explosive plays, which is the least they've had in a single game all season. They still got that game to 23-15. They still got that Georgia game to a 1-score game at one point in that game. As bad as the entire thing was, it got to a 1-score game. I don't think if you lose the time of possession battle 40-20 and you give up,
I'd like to see stats on whenever you're down, like whenever you give up that much.
This is the most explosive team. This is the second most explosive team in college football right now, next to Miami.
Well, right, but you would think.
So if Texas scores
but just think about what the game script would have to be for that to happen. Because you're saying, yeah, well, what if Texas just scores in 3 plays and 3 plays in a cloud of dust and they're out, and then Vandy just does an 18-minute long drive or something like this. And I can understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying is this: that wouldn't be how the game script played out if Texas got out to some kind of lead and they were like Vandy. I don't think Vandy would. They wouldn't do these long drives where they take the clock all the way down to 5 seconds, and you know what I mean, and where they just try to do these big long drives. They would have to change their script up a little bit. If at the end of the game you told me that they had it 40-20, then that game played into Vanderbilt's hands. That's the kind of game that they wanted to play.
Yeah, but Mo's asking, can Texas still win if we lose the time of possession battle 40-20? Can they win? Not will they win. It's can they win. I'd say 100% they can win because we've seen them have these drives that last 1, 2, 3 plays and they score. So if that happens and if they bounce back to Mississippi State, Oklahoma, where they had 9 explosives, let's say they have 7 explosives in this game, 3 of which go, you have a 40-yard touchdown. Let's say you have a 55-yard reception that gets tackled and you have a 60-yard touchdown, right? Big ones. And they enhance those drives and you get 3 touchdowns off of those drives. And those 3 drives in total take 6.5 minutes. You got 21 points in 6.5 minutes of gameplay. I think over the course of the next 14, I think you could still score a touchdown and 2 touchdowns and a field goal in the next 14 minutes. And I think Texas can still score 30. I'm not saying it's going to look good, but I think Texas can still score 35, 31 in a 20-minute time of possession deficit.
It would be
but also the defense is too good to allow 40 minutes. That's the whole point.
Yes, that means something went fundamentally wrong if Vanderbilt holds the ball for 40 minutes. There's something that would have went wrong. It's like if that I'm not saying that they can't. They couldn't win. Of course, they could win. You could win, but something would have been fun to like. Sark gets back on the plane and he's pissed, right? Any coach would be. I think I saw a super chat. Oh yeah, I did. Jose Rodriguez, thank you. $4.99 super chat. Thank you guys so much for that. Creeping up towards 500 people here watching between X and YouTube. So thank you all for being here. If you could please remember to like the show, subscribe to the channel. We certainly do appreciate that. Jose Rodriguez. Oh, he's gonna put everybody on tilt with an off-topic question. Yes. Hey, it's a super chat. We have to answer it. Top 3 burger spots for y'all. Also, what are must toppings for you guys? Avocado and jalapenos are must for me. Well, Jose Rodriguez, you and I are very similar. I love jalapenos and avocado on my burgers, but they're not musts. My top 3 burger spots. Okay, I think
Are these like, do these have to be like restaurants? Or are we talking like, could you, I mean, I'll be honest with you, dude, when I'm on the road, like if you go to Wendy's and you get that, the bacon double stack or whatever the hell it is, like for bang for your buck on the road, it's a hammer.
Okay, I would never invoke the name of Wendy's with this spot. If we're talking fast food, the best is Dan's. It's just the best.
Dan's, what the hell's Dan's?
It's Dan's Hamburgers. It's been in Austin since like the 1930s or something.
Okay, so it's like a known spot.
Oh, like greasy spoon type of place, and they sell breakfast there of like pancakes and bacon. Kids love it, but the burgers are like elite fast food type burgers. Gosh, man. Oh, Sullivan's. If you can find a Sullivan's where you live, they make just a killer burger. And then I'm trying to think of the other one. Oh, is Three Forks still open downtown? Three Forks, Nick Foles' dad.
I have not been there.
If that's still open, I love Three Forks. I love their burgers. And then the best toppings on a burger. If I just have to eat one, that's usually it's meat from Texas Beef Traders that I do. Like what I do is I take it, I make them real thin, real thin. Then I put like shredded cheddar cheese that I shred myself. I don't ever use the shredded cheese out of the pack, right? Because it's got the weird coating on there. So I shred it myself, put it on top, put it on both of them, right? And then I'll put a fried egg on it, and I'll put bacon on it, and then I'll put the burger sauce on it. It's like a mix of like mayonnaise and ketchup and stuff. It's like pink, and then I'll put some jalapenos on it, and that's the best burger.
All right.
You're gonna say the peanut butter thing.
My 3 have to be this new spot I found in Charleston is called Heavy's. No. Actually, I'll do Heavy's. Heavy's is pretty good. That's downtown. If you ever come, Alex, I think the Food and Wine Festival is in March, by the way. Heavy's is downtown. Also, gosh, what's that place called? Stephanie, what's that place called we always order burgers from? She didn't say anything back to me. It's literally right down the street from me.
No one cares about your Charleston, South Carolina.
I can't remember. Anyway, and then the third one would be, it's called Tender Maids. It's in Austin, Minnesota. Okay. It is a 150 square foot building, and it's got the old U-shaped bar, and they make everything right in the center of the bar.
Okay.
It's an old school spot. And then my favorite toppings, I feel like we talked about this at one point, but
somebody asked before.
It's gonna be crispy bacon, a runny egg, and peanut butter.
It's so gross.
Well, it's so gross, but we actually got a comment. I saw the comment come in from, where did it go? Specialist 90. Cody, what's the best brand peanut butter?
So he remembers your cockamamie answer to this question last time.
It's Skippy's Natural Creamy. Because it's runny.
That's so bad for you. It's so full of like canola oil and stuff. It's so bad. Okay. Let's see here. Dude, I have to say one other thing too. That UT Park is talking about this stuff. I actually think that there's something. I'll need to look up the name of the place at some point whenever you're talking, Cody. But the best burger that I ever had was actually in New Mexico. It was one of those green chili burgers, and I'll need to look up the name of it. It's a place. It's in a town where people travel through if they're going up there to go skiing, and so people might actually get to stop here. So I'm going to look up the name of that place. It was the best burger I've ever had in my life.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. If you type in New Mexico green on Google, it fills it up for you and just says green chili burger. So this must be a known thing.
Yeah, well, they have the Hatch green chilies there. They're just in season for us. They're like a cult class. They're like a cult favorite as far as
That's messed up. We actually had the barbecue joint. What the hell's the barbecue joint you told me to go to in Charleston? That is
John
Lewis Barbecue. They actually held an event last weekend when I was out of town. I came to Austin. They had an event, and it was the Hatch Chili Festival in Charleston, hosted by the barbecue joint. And everyone said, I mean, I saw a lot of, I can't do hot stuff, but that was at least an event that took place here.
They have the mild and the spicy ones. All right, how about this buy or sell? Garrett Nussmeier is a substantially better quarterback than Connor Weigman in the LSU A&M matchup.
Yeah. I'm not sold on Weigman in any way, shape, or form yet. Nussmeier's grown week by week. Shown he can be a pocket passer. I believe in what we've seen out of Nussmeier. I've also heard some positive stuff about Nussmeier in the NFL draft circles, and
I kind of think
would I be shocked?
He's gonna be one of these dudes that by the end we're like, what about Nuss, dude?
Would I be shocked if he got drafted ahead of Quinn? No,
not at all. No, you're not allowed to be shocked. No, look at. I mean, some scouts will just tell you, look at him standing side by side.
But I do think A&M wins.
Why? Just because styles make fights, and what? Why? I can't believe A&M's 2.5-point favorite.
I think LSU's better, but I think A&M wins. It's in A&M. I just think this is one of those cockamamie things. I just think they win. I don't think.
But you don't have a reason.
I don't have a reason. I don't care. I don't care about either one of these teams.
Well, you're a college football analyst. You should have you should have an analysis of why you think they're going to win or lose.
They got a better defense.
Yeah, well,
but they also average 218 yards per game on the ground.
Yeah, but dude, LSU is starting to their run game's coming along. That they have a better offensive line and they have a substantially better quarterback.
Caden Durham's banged up.
Is he? But I saw it. But no, they had him listed as probable yesterday, didn't they? Hold on.
Yeah, but they listed him. That was what's worried me. So he suffered a foot injury during the first half of the last.
Are you worried about Wisner? He's listed as probable.
I don't know. No, I mean, sure, whatever. But I mean, I think Blue can do just as much.
Well, but okay, let me just look and see.
What I'm saying is there's no they had no run game before Caden Durham played in that game against South Carolina. When Caden Durham entered the game,
probable
in South Carolina, the whole game changed.
He's probable.
That's fine, but I'm just saying he exited the last game early, and if he's not 100%, they need him to be 100% against this football team.
All right.
A&M has a better defense, and I think that they have a better run game. I got one buy or sell for you.
I have one thing that I need to tell people to buy. Texas beef traders. Have you guys been there yet? I know a lot of you have. I know Sandman's been there. I know Mo's been there. Mo's been there a bunch. I know that a lot of you guys were there for the live show, man. But dude, I can't tell you how good the beef is from Texas beef traders. Cody sent me a picture that some that he made today. What did you put on that? Some cheese on top of your steak or something?
Butter.
Oh, that was butter. I didn't even I was going to click on to like it because it looks so good, but I'm like, I can't like this. That looks like melted cheese on there.
Oh, no. I had a bone-in ribeye today, 1.5 pounds bone-in ribeye today.
You eat that whole thing yourself?
Of course.
All in one sitting?
Of course.
1.5 pounds.
Do you think I am a beta?
24 ounces of just straight up, just no vaccines, no antibiotics, just nothing, man. Just straight up Mason, Texas beef. And you guys are going to love Texas beef traders. It's like the taste of the meat. I don't know if it's the bovine nutritionist they have on staff or whether it's just where it comes from and the herd's not commingled with any others. But dude, it's the best Angus beef I've ever had, and the Wagyu is just as good. Like and the Piedmontese. It's like I'm a fan of the Piedmontese mainly for I like to get it for ground beef to make stuff like tacos and meatballs and things like that, because when you eat it, it's better for you than eating like ground chicken or ground turkey or anything like that. But you get that real beefy flavor, and you don't have to worry about the fact that there's a lot less fat and a lot less marbling in it. And it's just, I mean, it's been amazing to be able to eat Texas Beef Traders. You guys really should check it out. It's right there in the heart of Lakeway. You get 10% off if you tell them that you've heard about us, heard about them here on Football with Friends. And it's, for most of this stuff, it's already as cheap or cheaper than the grocery store. And if you can't make it into Lakeway, just scan the QR code, look up TexasBeefTraders.com, call them on the phone, talk to Darren, talk to Shay, place an order, get your 10% off, and then just say, hey, can you just bring that to my house, please? And they'll say, sure. We're like, when's a good time? And they'll just bring it to you. Texas Beef Traders, TexasBeefTraders.com. Make sure and go check them out.
You know what I noticed, Alex, when I was, cutting the steak up today, is I've eaten, of course, tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of ribeyes in my days. I was cutting this thing up, and I cook them all the same, cook them all, perfectly under medium rare, more rare than medium rare. I love my blood. But when you're cutting it, I use the same knife every time. It's no different. When I'm cutting it, it cuts different. You can just feel the meat is just different. It's like smoother. It cuts cleaner. It's not like there's no chewiness at all to it. Maybe I'm just that good of a chef, but I don't know what we're doing here. This is some great meat.
It really, dude, you guys just need to try it out. It's really hard for me. It's really hard for me to explain how good Texas Beef Traders is. I'm trying to find the name of this place. It's at an old rail station. It's like it's some kind of depot. Trails Head Deep. It's an old train station is where this burger place is. I'm going to find the name of it because you guys need to stop if you're ever on your way to Colorado. It's that life-changing of a burger. All right. What is your buy or sell, Cody?
Is it called the Santa Fe Line Burger?
Oh,
At the Freight House in Bernalillo?
Maybe that could be close. That could be, but this place is north of Santa Fe.
Bernalillo.
I don't know. I'll look and see.
Okay. My buy or sell for you, my first buy or sell for you tonight is, you think Andrew Makuba is worthy of mid-season transfer All-American honors and will bend the knee on Makuba's greatness.
Hold on. Bend the knee? What? Who's bending the knee to who?
You're bending the knee because you don't like Makuba. You didn't like him before the season.
What do you mean I did? Who says I don't like Makuba?
You didn't like Makuba. You said Taft should start over him.
He should. I like Taft too. I can't say that somebody could. I think Taft should start over Makuba. I'm not bending the knee about this.
You don't think Makuba's great?
I think Makuba is. I think Taft's very good. I think Makuba is very good.
You're speaking like a politician right now.
Well, it's a delicate subject. We're talking about Westlake Schaffer House here, brother.
All right, he was on the Andrew Makuba made the Rivals mid-season transfer All-American. You just cockamamie list here. Mid-season transfer All-American list here. Andrew Makuba made it. They have listed this season, Clemson transfer had 2 interceptions, 3 pass breakups, and is the 12th best coverage grade on PFF among power forward defensive backs with at least 50 snaps. It's Andrew Makuba, the only Texas player on the transfer All-American list.
Do you remember the name of that burger place in New Mexico?
Are you texting your wife?
Yeah. Let's see if she'll get back to me here. All right. All right. Next one up here. We need to go to this section. All right. Buy or sell. DJ Campbell starts against Vanderbilt, but Cole Hudson ultimately plays more snaps.
Not yet. So
Yeah, I don't
one
think
more,
so yet
one
either.
more week. If this trend line, I don't know how the trend line can go down anymore
It
because,
can't.
quite frankly, the defensive line for Vanderbilt is like the third worst that they've third. How do they phrase that? Third worst they've played against this year, according to PFF. If his trend line doesn't jump up quite a bit in the deep dig this week, then I would venture to bet that bye week may be a little bit of Cole Hudson implementation into the lineup.
Yeah, I think this is going to be the one. I think this is going to be the one where I think he might have got kind of challenged this week. You know what I mean?
I hope so.
Well, yeah. He kind of needed it after last week. So, um, and we haven't seen all year. You know, it's been kind of this same all year. DJ plays like 45 snaps. Cole plays like 25 snaps or something. I'm just wondering if there's ever like a flippening that's going to happen with that kind of stuff. Um, if he plays again like he did last week, and Cole Hudson plays reasonably, I would think that maybe you could see that coming up. But I think I also still think it's a little bit early.
All right. Staying on the offensive line. Over on Roster Watch, I released my mock draft 2.0 today.
Oh, I saw. I put Kelvin Banks as the cover boy.
Buy or sell. You think Kelvin Banks is a better than 50% chance? I spelled change. Better than 50% chance of being the number one overall pick in April.
No, you can't do that. No, I sell. It's not a coin flip that he'll be number one overall. It's not a coin flip.
It's more of a quarterback question than anything, because New England has a quarterback. Carolina, do you think Carolina is going to spend on a quarterback?
Yes.
You do think they will?
Why not?
But who? What are they going to? I don't.
It's Pepper. He's going to do whatever some idiot he hires tells him to do.
Yeah, but the guys. I mean, I don't think Canales and. You think Canales and Dan Morgan are going to be coaching there next year?
Dan, is it Dan Morgan?
Yeah, Dan Morgan is the GM and Dave Canales is the coach. You think they're both going to be there next year?
I'm like Michael Lombardi. I'm like, what did Dan Morgan ever do to earn this job? All he did was he was like an underling to the past failed front office.
He's a great linebacker for Carolina.
Yeah. Okay. Didn't he play for Florida?
I don't know. I know he played for Carolina. That's all I do know because he was on the team that beat the Vikings in 2009. But so Kelvin Banks, so New England Patriots. The reason
they can't get rid of Canales because Canales got a 6-year deal. They got to give him another year.
I don't know. I don't think they got to do Jack, but
yeah, I mean, I guess Tepper has all the money in the world to get.
Yeah. So here's the thing. The thing is if a team like New England is there at number one, you take.
They're not taking quarterback.
No, they're taking.
Oh, you're saying okay.
Or do like Matty Kiwoom, our guy Matty Kiwoom, he's a Patriot fan. He tells me, well, I hope they get the number one pick and I hope they can trade it down. And then they can, get the mother load, still get a tackle, go out in free agency, get your receiver, and you just build this thing perfect. But that's a perfect world, right?
The people aren't going to be trading. No one's trading up for Carson Beck. No one's trading up for Quinn Ewers. No,
it's not. Those two are not the guys anymore, though.
Shedeur, no one's trading up for Shedeur.
Yeah, Shedeur. Well, Shedeur and Cam, I had
like his dad might say he won't allow you to come play for their team or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think scouts are going to be interested. I don't think this quarterback class is good, man.
I don't think it is either. That's why I didn't have any of them in the top 7 picks.
But then, but then you think about it, like who are the top 10 like locks? And I mean, this could be a defense heavy draft. There's a lot of really good edge dudes, but
it's a very good defensive class.
But like Will Campbell, Kelvin Banks. I think that wouldn't the coin flip be Will? Because isn't it a coin flip to see even if it were a tackle to go first overall, isn't it a coin flip whether they would choose LSU? Is that Will Campbell or Kelvin Banks?
Depends, I guess.
So I would say it can't be a coin flip for it to be Banks.
Okay, so if I said tackle.
Oh, if a tackle is first overall, Kelvin Banks has a 50% chance of being the number one overall pick.
you think tackle has a better than 50% chance of being the number 1 overall pick?
Let me pull up your mock and see who I'm forgetting about. Like, because hold on, roster watch. Given the fact that it looks like Carolina only addressed the inside of their offensive line, right? They still need tackle help. Somebody opposite of Taylor Moton, right? And then so you have New England, you'll have Carolina, you'll have Cleveland. None of these guys are going to take. They're not going to take any of these. Like, so New England won't take a corner.
They're not taking Hunter. They're not taking a receiver.
They're not taking a receiver because they spent pretty good draft capital on Jalen Polk and Javon Baker last year.
They're going offensive tackle or defensive line, and they need offensive tackle more than anything.
And Carolina, if they're still at 2, we know that Tennessee probably wouldn't go back to offensive tackle. Cleveland, that's not their biggest need at all. Even though, gosh, those guys have had trouble staying healthy this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if it's the Patriots, they're going to have to pick a tackle. No one's trading up. But you think the Patriots? I think Carolina picks first, man.
I think it's one of those 3. I think it's New England, Carolina, or Cleveland.
So it still can't be 50-50. If I know if I know it's New England, then I think it's 50-50.
Well, if I know it's New England, I think it's 100, but okay.
If 100,
sorry, 50-50 on Banks, sure. Okay, there we go.
All right. Let's see the next one. Speaking of NFL, how about this one? Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua will not have pitch counts tonight against the Vikings in their respective first games back from injury.
Puka Nacua will. Cooper Kupp won't. I think Cooper Kupp. I talked about this on the Roster Watch Underdog Pick'em show today. I think the Cooper Kupp line was 10.5 targets. This dude, I mean, he had 21 targets in week 1. He had 6 in week 2 when he got hurt. Cooper Kupp's going out here to get traded. That's what he's going out here for them to try and win this game, which I do believe they will, which I think puts this entire thing in a weird predicament. If they win, they're 3-4. If they lose, they're 2-5. But I do believe that what?
You just believe this stuff so much about your last game versus Detroit. You're not going to cover the next game.
Minnesota's traveling cross country. I mean, they didn't have Blake Cashman last week. Cashman is questionable this week. Ivan Pace
is Minnesota Eastern time zone or is it Central?
Central.
It's fine. It's going.
It's still 2 time zones. It's still going hard swear word game. Midwest all to the West Coast on a short week. It's a tough ask, point blank. And you're also like, it's a Flores defense that, yes, it's very tough, but there's very few quarterbacks in the league that can handle it. I think Stafford's one guy that can. Now, the question is, can the Rams stop or slow down the Vikings? I'm not sure about that. This might have the drawings of another shootout, a 30-29 shootout again. So I'm going to go Puka. Puka runs, 40 to 50% of the routes. I think we get enough Tutu and DeMarcus Robinson, and then I think Cooper Kupp runs near a full game of routes. He's targeted north of 15 times, and he's traded in the next 10 days.
What do you have we gotten inactives yet for this?
I'm sure we have. I haven't looked.
Because is Whittington going to play?
No, Whittington is on I thought they put Whittington on IR.
Oh, after he didn't play last week. Oh, they put him on IR?
I thought they did. I'm wrong. He's inactive.
Okay.
So Blake Cashman's inactive, who I just mentioned a minute ago. He's the big one for the Vikings. Jordan Whittington is inactive. Trey White, which I guess I forgot was on the Rams, he's inactive. Hawkinson is not. He did not get activated for this one. But you forgot
Tre'Davious White even played for. He just hadn't been, he hadn't been very good.
He's just fallen off so much that I just didn't even register that.
Doing his best Jair Alexander impression, although he's been better this year than he was last year.
Yeah.
All right.
Did you have a prize pick for that or no?
No. Let's put one together. Oh, let me just ask you this one before we go to prize picks, because I was thinking about this earlier, and this really is true. Or just tell me. Buy or sell, the worst topping to put on pizza is actually cheddar cheese.
People put cheddar cheese on pizza?
I've seen it a million times. Like they have like they'll mix in cheddar cheese with the white, like whatever, the provolone or mozzarella or whatever. They'll put yellow cheese in it. These are domestic terrorists, dude. I'm serious.
I will self admit I think I've done this a time or two when I come home with a pizza. When you come home with those made ready cold pizzas and it has like no cheese on it, and I come home and all I have is cheddar, and like I don't usually buy cheddar though. Usually I have like the Mexican blend, and I'll do that. But like that's just because that's the situation I'm in. I'm not going to eat a pizza that's like this from the store with nothing on it. But it's definitely not a choice of mine.
What made me think about this was I was dropping my kids off at jiu-jitsu, and there's this place next to them called I think it's called Papa Murphy's, and it's like one of these places where you go in.
It's a well-known chain, dog.
Okay, so you've heard of it.
Yeah.
They take they take it and you tell them what you want on it and they kind of make it, but then you take it home. It's like take and bake is what they call it.
That's what I was talking about. Yeah.
So the cheese that they put on there has cheddar inside it. Whenever I'm walking by, I'm like, what's all this yellow cheese inside this thing? It's disgusting. Like this is the worst topping.
Did you get one?
No. I'm gonna get that thing. It's got yellow cheese.
Go in there and like ask questions and then walk out.
No, but like there's a window and you can see the kind of the pre-made pies there in the front when you're walking to jiu-jitsu. I'm looking down like yellow.
That's gross. That's also gross that they would have pies that close to the window, because I know that there's something called sun in the state of Texas, and I feel like some pre-made pizzas next to the window might get a little warm. But worst topping to put on pizza is actually cheddar cheese. I think I can't say it's number one, but I'd say it's definitely top three.
What even rivals it? Just like when they put like those sardines and stuff on it, it's probably
just like stupid stuff. Like I mean, personally, like the pineapple thing isn't really because it's pineapple and it's random, but like pineapple just doesn't float my boat and doesn't work with my gut. So I think it's just completely cockamamie to put pineapple on there. I also like disagree with like sardines. Like I disagree with olives. I think you cover that thing in banana peppers, which I know you like. I think that's stupid as well. But
for sure. All right. So I know the one I really liked earlier was the one I pointed out. It's the real record kicking points. That thing's been hitting, dude. And I like Minnesota tonight. I know you don't. You're kind of the Reichard whisperer. Do you not like this tonight?
No, I don't have a problem. I just told you I think that's going to be a high scoring game. So I like the Reichard one.
It's one of the popular plays. Look at that. Maybe people are onto this Reichard total points thing. Yeah, it's been hitting for us like crazy.
The other one. So I know this isn't for Thursday Night Football, but for Sunday that I already put in our locks is Austin Seibert, the kicker for the Commanders, dude. And I've been utilizing him too. I think I'm like 4-1 on kicker numbers this year. Seibert's got like I think they put him at 6.5 again this week. The dude's hit it 5 consecutive weeks. He's just bang, 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 bang. So love some kicking points. You got to take advantage of kicking points if you're playing on Prize Picks. I like this Jefferson thing. You like this?
Yes.
I love it.
Yes, dude. Because either one could just anytime that either one could get there on their own, I just love it. Just love it. So if there's nothing else here that I totally love,
wish we could get a reception combo. That'd be fire.
Yeah, that would be cool. I'm trying to think. Nothing. Are they not going to give us anything on Addison? Oh, longest reception 20.5.
Yeah. Thought there was something there.
Let's see. You got anything about maybe any of these sack numbers for these?
I like Grenard, to be honest with you, but I haven't really played with the sack stuff much. Well, that was.
Just look at these fantasy.
That was a weird.
Look at these fantasy scores. Get into my wheelhouse here. So you don't think your
wheelhouse that screwed us last Thursday?
What screwed us last Thursday?
I don't remember what game that was. Was that who played last Thursday?
I don't remember already.
Games.
Do you think? Okay, so Ty Chandler 21.5 rush year. I just
Broncos Saints.
Oh, whose fantasy score swindled? Oh, Bub Means.
Yeah,
swindled us. Man, I might just go with these two.
Yeah, I like these two.
Hope for these two to hit. I'll put like 40 on it to make 120, make a quick $120 here. And that'll be that.
Have you been checking your email?
Oh, the FWF emails?
Yeah, do you ever check that thing?
No, let me go check it to make sure. You guys can email us, man. Email the show, fwfemails@gmail.com. If you have questions for the show, you have anything you want us to comment on, it's been a while since I've checked it. So it looks like you guys have been emailing us. So sorry about that. We do have here. Oh, cool, man. We got somebody that's sending a photo of filling deer feeders. So we're gonna get this guy on, and our guy Tom with some nerdy deep dig questions and questions about the Mackey Awards. So thank you guys so much. That's fwfemails@gmail.com. You can email us there, and on Final Takes Friday we'll highlight some of the emails from these last few days that I've missed. So yeah, there it is. Football friends, fwfemails@gmail.com. Of course, you can find us on X at Alex Dunlap NFL. You can find Cody at Cody Carpentier. Also, man, we need to thank Poncho Outdoors for being great sponsors for us. We love wearing the Poncho gear. We love Specs for bringing us the Specs chat line. 600 of you guys in here right now. We can't thank you enough, and it just goes to show that the show's growing, and that you guys keep coming back to watch the show, and we're here every night. So we always ask you to like the show and subscribe to the channel, and we certainly appreciate that. But the most important thing is, man, you're coming back and you're rocking with us, and the show's doing great. So thank you guys so much for always being here. We love you all very much. We hope you enjoy some football tonight. God bless you guys, man. God bless your families. For Cody, I'm Alex. We're done.